And welcome to the Kevin Dunn Show. Hope you're having a great day. Special in-studio guest today. We have Tobby Leverette.
What's up, man?
BKA, better known as Tobby the King.
Good to be here, man.
Man, how are you?
I'm doing well. Thanks for asking. And yourself?
I'm doing good, man.
Great,
Anytime
great.
you're in the presence of Tobby the King, you got to
Oh,
be doing
man,
good.
no.
Okay.
Anytime I can get in the presence of Mr. Dunn, man, I'll be all right. Yes,
You're too
sir.
kind.
Yes, sir.
Exciting times in the life of Tobby the King Leverette. You just embarked upon a new journey in your career.
Yes.
You have recorded your first series of shows. Before we get into the heart of the shows, what is the name of your show? What is the title of your show?
The title of my show is 9TWO6 STYLZ with Tobby the King.
9TWO6 Style with Tobby the King.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Oh, no. Yeah.
No, I was going to ask, how did you come up with that name, that concept?
Well, actually, what happened was, Minister Don, I had another name prior to, and I was kind of afraid of some other areas, so I changed it, and I said I need to come up with something that's distinctively, Tobby. And so I just pondered so many different things, and so I came up with 926, and 926 is my birthday, which is September the 26th.
926.
And it's spelled the number 9, TWO6.
Okay, all right, very cool. You might need to get a trademark on that, a patent on that one day.
Oh, yes, sir, yes, sir. Working on that.
Working on
that,
okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay, your own show. Tell us how this vision came about. I'm pretty sure you thought about this some time ago, and a lot of things we get vision first before they come into fruition. So tell us about how this vision came about.
Actually, what happened is about 3 or 4 years ago, I was afforded the opportunity to be casted for a reality show. Mm-hmm. Okay. And so I got all the way to the end, and I chickened out.
Totally chickened out?
Oh, yeah. I chickened out. Mm-hmm. Because when they started telling me some of the requirements, and the drama that I had to bring to the show to continue to be a cast, I said, this not me, And so I kind of got fearful, and I was like, I'm not willing to compromise who I am just for the sake of being on TV.
Interesting.
So I turned it down at the last minute. They actually got out of the contract. I mean, I had just kind of signed on to it, but they let me get out of it,
That's
because
good.
I told them, that I didn't think I would be a good fit
right
for what they're wanting.
And I'm pretty sure they respected that.
Oh, yes, absolutely, they did. Because they were looking at just the name and the resume and probably what they thought I probably brought to the show, but they just did not know me personally. So, so I gotta just, I just kind of let that go. But then after that, in my prayer time,
right.
Not to sound, super deep or anything, but in my prayer time, I said, but Lord, but there is some place that you have to have for me in media, in a television. There is another place for Tobby the King. I mean, because I'm such an industrious type person.
Oh,
I can't stand feel like I'm stagnated or on the same level. So so he didn't speak it to me then. But it was maybe about 6 or 7 months later. I was riding down the road, just riding down the road. And God spoke in my spirit, plain as day. He said a TV talk show dealing with beauty, fashion, hair, modeling, and all of those type of things. And I'm like, wow, I've never heard of that. And so I knew it had to be God because I never thought of it myself. So I can't even take no credit for it. You know, I mean, he inspired me all the way to do it. So then after that, that was maybe about 2 years and 3 months ago. And so about 3 months after that, I wrote down the entire vision one day.
Wow.
2 years ago, I wrote down my entire vision. I mean, I never shared it with no one. I didn't discuss it with no one. I didn't even tell people about the actual opportunity I turned down. A couple of people knew, a couple of my close friends, but you know, but the world didn't know. So I kind of just got to a place where I just wrote it all down. And I said, Lord, when is your timing? You will bring it all into fruition. And then about maybe 8 to 9 months ago, I was actually sitting on my couch. And the Lord spoke to me plain as day. I mean, just like you and I talking
right now.
He said, I remember exactly what month it was. It was January because it was right after Christmas. And he spoke to me to reach out to a young lady that I had met just to ask some questions. You know, didn't know which way I would go or anything like that. And that's by the name of a lady that I had met. And the reason I remember it was January, because I had just met her in December. It was Miss Leverette Rose.
Leverette Rose, okay.
Yes. Right. And so I actually reached out to her in January just to kind of ask some questions, kind of just to be almost evasive, not to give the,
gotcha.
You know. And so it was like, the conversation, man, it went so well to that she really inspired me. I mean, Good. She didn't even know me or anything, but she said it sounds like something that is very much needed. You know, it sounds different. It sounds innovative, you know, this and that. And so one thing led to the other. So, of course, she put me in contact with yourself and the WJCN family. And it's been a wonderful experience thus far.
And first you wrote the vision and you made it plain.
I made it plain. I can show you. I made it plain, man. I'm telling you, over 2.5 years ago, I mean, I wrote down not only the vision, but I wrote down all of my shows.
Wow.
I wrote down all my shows.
That's a blessing from God to be able to write all that out and get it all at one time.
Yeah.
Wow. So
it was God.
Now people who read it will run with it.
yes, God, man, I tell you. And then, and I say this too, man of God. After I wrote the vision down, because I knew that one day it would happen. I just didn't know when, but I knew it would happen. But I began to research. I began to speak to people, asking questions. They didn't know why I was asking them. When I would go on productions, I would pay closer attention to certain things, you know, because I just kind of kept it to myself. I'm one of those type of guys, you know. You know, some people just tell everything. Some people tell some things. I'm one of those type people. I don't tell nothing.
Nothing, right.
I mean, I don't tell nothing, man, until it happens. You know, And so I just began to, in my quiet time, I would research, just to learn more about what it is that I was believing God that I was going to be afforded to do.
That's key.
And I even studied your shows.
Oh, wow.
I mean, oh yes, man. I went on YouTube, man. I looked at a lot. Oh my God.
Yeah.
You are the epitome, man.
Oh wow.
Yes,
Thank
sir.
God for your kind words.
I went on and I kind of, watched, watch your mannerism. I watched how you dialogue with with your guests, and all of that stuff.
Wow.
I mean, because I'm a newcomer. I mean, I'm a hairstylist, not a talk show host.
Gotcha.
You're the talk show host. I'm a hairstylist. So,
who's now a talk show host? Now, Toby, right quick before we continue with the interview, we're going to take a sneak preview of, once again, what's the name of the show?
9TWO6 Style with Tobby the King.
All right, a quick sneak preview, and we'll be right back with you. Wow, Toby, that was just awesome. And technically, you've been around this your whole life. The makeup, the hair, the production. So you've been fortunate to know how the flow of all this actually goes. And I had the opportunity to, I guess, being backstage and see how you function and operate. You had everything organized pretty good.
Thanks.
So what made you know that you really had to have this somewhat organized to allow this to flow like it needed to flow?
Well, one thing here, I mean, I'm such a, I guess, in my older age, because when I was younger, I was not organized. I was definitely the opposite of being an organized person. But I guess in my older age, I don't like to feel overwhelmed. And I knew it was a lot because I was dealing with guests. You're dealing with 2 guests on every show. You're dealing with, you got to line everything up according to when it's going to air. You got to talk about relevant things, all of this stuff. So I did not need to be overwhelmed along with trying to host,
Right.
I mean, I'm not a BET or TV network, I'm just Tobby. So, I had to do everything. So I had to really prepare. I had to really prepare.
So you said you had your shows all mapped out. Now, once you were mapping out the shows, so you had all your topics came to you at the same time, or did you have to do a little bit more studying when you chose your topics?
Yes, I did have to do some studying. Some of them did come to me at the very beginning, I mean, majority, maybe 60% of them came to me at the beginning. But then after that, I kind of twerked some. I even took away maybe 1 or 2 to kind of put on another season, because as I was, maybe riding and thinking and wondering and pondering, something else came to me that is more relevant.
Right.
And so I kind of, changed it around. Yeah.
Okay, with everything that you've accomplished here in this short time, of course, adversity came, challenges came, I'm pretty sure. What was your biggest challenge in bringing all of this together? What do you feel was your biggest challenge?
I feel that my biggest challenge in bringing it all together was really me.
Okay.
I mean, honestly speaking, man, it was me. You know, I'm so hard on myself.
Right.
You know.
Right.
I mean, when I look back on, you know, I mean, I hate the way I talk. You know, I mean, God knows it was. I mean, when God gave me this vision, I'm saying to myself, you must gonna give me another voice. You know? Or something like that, you know, but I think that was my biggest challenge, you know, just, and then sometimes, man, I had to just get to a place where I say, okay, back up, Toby. It's okay. It's okay. Just calm down. So that was the biggest. That was one of the biggest challenges, you know. And then of course, you know, once I did get into production, I didn't run into this a lot, but you know, having to make sure all of my guests were in place, you know, this and that, you know, and I taped 3 shows a day.
Right.
So that you know, it was kind of challenging.
So
that was a little challenge.
Basically, you did it like the major networks. Just go ahead and knock it out in a season.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So basically, this was another faith walk for you as well.
Absolutely. It was definitely a faith walk. I mean, because all I had was a promise and a vision.
A promise and a vision.
Yeah, and so I just ran with it, you know, and I trusted God, you know, and I'm yet trusting Him, you know. I mean, and I've received, man, when I tell you, I just been very nervous, you know, about how people will receive it. But if I'm allowed to, I will say this to you. I had some of the world's most amazing guests.
Gotcha.
I am telling you, my guests made the show. It wasn't about me.
Right.
It's about them.
Right.
They literally, I'm telling you, I learned so much, you know, in talking with them, interacting with them, dialogue. I mean, because all of them are so knowledgeable in what it is that we were talking about, you know. And every show is talking about a particular subject. Yes, I mean.
What are people, I know you have a lot of followers on Facebook, social media. What are Toby the King Leverette fans saying about the upcoming show? Are they excited?
Yes, I think they are, man. Yeah, I think they are. Man, I've received so many emails. I receive calls everywhere I go. I mean, literally. I mean, I was in a restaurant the other day, you know, and somebody came up to me and they said, you finna come out with a TV show. And I said, yeah. Make sure you watch it. And then so the lady said something to me that was so funny. She said, why would not?
Okay.
And so that kind of made me, you know, I mean, I've had so many people to come up to me. And I think it's another area. I mean, they know me as a hairstylist. Right. I mean, they know me to produce things as calendars, you know, and stuff like that, work with celebrities. So to kind of walk into this realm, you know, it's kind of totally different. I mean, it's totally different. And it also gave me an opportunity to share back with like fellow stylists, barbers, models, all of those type of people. I mean, it just kind of gave me an opportunity to kind of have a one-on-one sit down.
Gotcha.
I mean, because, you know, we be so busy in the industry. We don't get a chance to see each other, you know, and I'm kind of, most people don't know, but I'm an extremely shy person.
Okay.
I don't know if you can believe it, but I am extremely shy. So I'm always taking the backside.
Right.
To stuff. So I don't get a chance to interact with a lot of people. I mean, it's easier to interact behind a cell phone or a keyboard. You know, you can always type in what you want to say, but to be one-on-one. But it is. I'm telling you. So I mean, people are going to. I think they're going to be in for a great season. Very informative, educational, inspirational. You know, one other thing that's a part of it, I'm doing a certain part where I'm doing like a style of the day.
Okay.
So I'm doing like a different style every show. So people can look forward to that, you know.
Different style every show.
Different style every show. Yeah.
That's going to be really, really interesting. So this, in essence, this was another opportunity for you to give back to other colleagues.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. I love the way you pulled it out. Yes, sir. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Because a lot of times if you're going places, if you're not willing to take other people with you, your journey may be in vain.
Right.
So
absolutely.
it's good that you're doing that and exposing other artists. And so tell us how many, you got a total of 12 shows.
12 shows.
Okay. Now, when will the first show air? And are we going to have a preview? Are you going to be at the Leverette? Or are you going to have your own private?
Well, you know what? Well, actually, I am working on doing like I am working on doing a private screening of the actual first show. I kind of ran into some complications with the venue. Right. So I'm kind of working on that there, you know, but I think that just kind of, you know, just want to get everybody hyped up to see it. I mean, because the guests were amazing. I mean, they were amazing. I mean, it wasn't about me. I mean, it was exactly what you said. I mean, it's about the guests. I mean, it gives customers, you know, it gives non-customers, it gives just the viewing audience a chance to see another side of their hairstylist, of their barber, you know, of their makeup artist, you know, to kind of telling the why they do what it is that they do, you know. Right.
Okay. Now, can you share with us maybe a few topics on some upcoming shows, or do you want to just save that to the shows?
Well, I can share a few. Well, my season opener, the first show is going to be the male stylist versus the female stylist. And that was initially supposed to be my third show. But then when I started looking at my guest, and my guest is a good friend of mine, Tasha Washington, and Mr. Fahim Shabazz, I said, now, Tasha is very, you know, I mean, she's very knowledgeable, and Mr. Fahim is very knowledgeable. I said, so this dialogue need to be first, you know, because it need to be very interesting. So, so the first show is going to be the male stylist versus the female stylist. Which one is best? I mean, we're going to be talking about certain things as, you know, who is most preferred. Because in, I mean, society today, even though it's sad to say, but I mean, people do have a preference of a male or female, you know.
And that was my next question, because I know, like, different, you know, doctors, you know, some females prefer a female doctor, males prefer a male doctor. So you're saying the same thing is in your line of work as well?
Oh, yes, sir. Absolutely. Yeah, you are certainly right. You get a lot of people that think, for some reason, not that it's true to it, but they may feel like that a male can do something that a female can't do, you know, because growing up, our parents have told us, you know, men grow your hair. That ain't necessarily true. And I'm a man, but, you know, and then sometimes, you know, people may say, women can be more organized than men, you know, so all of this stuff are things that we're going to talk about. And Another show that sticks out to me is the remedy to hair loss. I mean,
I know that's good.
Yeah. Oh, that was a phenomenal. I mean, it was eye awakening. You know, to hear the guests talk about the reason for hair loss, and I mean, even with me being a professional stylist, you know, just hearing some of the things. I mean, because I don't certify in the hair loss now. You know, I just know how to keep it on your head. But now, if you lose it for medical reasons and stuff, I can't, you know, that's kind of out of my vein. So so that was one of the shows. And then just one more is, you know, like bridging the gap of like the young stylists and the more seasoned stylists. I had a young stylist and a more seasoned stylist to come together to kind of bridge the gap. So they kind of went head for head. You know, the young stylist saying what the old stylist don't do, and the old stylist saying what the young stylist don't do.
Gotcha.
It was like, it was good dialogue.
Well, that's good. That's good. So nobody argued anything. They were just stating their own.
Oh no, absolutely.
I was just playing.
No.
It's just
They
what you
didn't argue,
said.
but it was a debate.
It was a debate.
Yes,
Yeah.
it was a
Okay.
debate.
Okay.
Yes, even on the first show, there was a debate. You
And that's what you want.
I mean, oh yes, the first show is definitely a debate: the male stylist versus the female stylist. I mean, there is a debate.
Okay.
You know, certain shows are about debate, and then we got other shows such as, you know, modeling, where we brought in two models that do model for a living, you know, and they talked about how to get into it, a professional modeling, you know, and this and that, and they brought out some great nuggets on that, you know, this and that, and so yeah, that one wasn't so much of a debate. It was just more informative. You know,
okay.
Yes.
Okay.
And last but not least, I mean, that's just a few of the shows.
Right.
But we're having an amazing season finale. I can't tell you the season finale.
That's right.
No.
That's fine. Gotta say that.
But the season finale is going to be totally different than the entire season.
Well, great.
Yeah.
Well, great. Well, Toby, we are out of time. Time goes by when you're having fun.
Yes, sir. Thank you for having me. Yes.
And remember, the show will debut right here on WJCN TV on August the 28th.
August the 28th.
August the 28th. Tune in, share with all your friends, your neighbors, your cousins, your uncles, your aunts, Ray and Boom Boom and all them folks.
And Shaba and all of those. Right.
All right. Thank you for watching us, and we'll see you next time right here on The Kevin Dunn Show.